Well, my name is Marcus Jones.
I'm Jaycee Jones. I'm his wife.
I am a Taylor, South Carolina native. Born and raised here. I graduated Furman in 2011, have a degree in Earth and Environmental Science, and am making a career change into medicine now, trying to go to PA school. Like music, cats. I do like dogs. Really do enjoy music. That's kind of one of my pastimes. I like composing, playing drums, piano, singing, do martial arts, work on cars. That's pretty much it, man. So, gaming, a little every now and then.
And I'm a store manager for 7-Eleven, and my list of hobbies is nowhere near as long as my husband's. It's, like Candy Crush on the phone after work.
So, I heard about Trailside from a really good friend of mine who happens to now be an elder in the church, named Josh Bradford, whom I met through his wife at work. So I was at work talking about, sustainability science stuff, how I did earth and environmental science stuff at college. And then Rayanne was like, hey, you should meet my husband. And I was like, are you setting us up on a mandate? And she's like, yes. Yeah. And that was pretty much
then there was a mandate that there was a mandate every Monday night.
That's right. And then we just kind of started getting together and talking out at 13 Stripes on Mondays, Cigar Mondays. And then just along that route, wound up hearing about Trailside. Josh was like, hey, know this pretty cool pastor you should meet. And that was pretty much how that happens.
So we were out at 13 Stripes one night, which is local brewery, awesome craft beers. And Sean was out there and Josh introduced us, and I probably spent the next, 2-3 hours debating with Sean about religion and philosophy and everything that there was to talk about. Did not grow up religious, but go to Anderson University, which is a Christian university. And that's actually the first time I ever picked up a Bible in my life was when I started college. And so we just talked and debated and went back and forth, and he was the first person in any kind of religion that I ever came across that did not shy away from questions, did not get offended by questions, and it was just like, well, this is what it says, so this is what it says, and just accepted it at face value. And because I'm not a face value kind of person. And he actually convinced me to, check out service, and I went and haven't looked back.
Pretty much. My first Sunday was prior to Jaycee's.
Yeah, I still wouldn't go.
She wasn't. She didn't go initially, but it was. I actually have it because I'm one of those note takers, of which apparently that's a rarity now from what I've heard. But came in, had my Bible, had my journal, and I believe it was near the end of August when was my first official visit in there, and he was talking about Matthew 6, specifically just going into the closet by yourself and praying and not being prideful, going out and doing the good things and not being boastful, praying for it in the silence of your own home and actually being sincere about it and things of that nature. And that just really hit home for me because just as who I am as a person, people like to say oh yeah, I'll be there, if you need me, I'll be there, or hey man, let me know if you ever need help with doing something X, Y, and Z, and then hey man, gonna be doing this, and then miraculously, no one's ever there. And so there's always been this line that I draw with people. I don't even intentionally mean to do it, but it's, let's see if this person actually means what they say and that they're gonna do what they say that they're gonna do. And that was given to me day one there. He says what he means what he says, and he does what he says he's going to do. And not because he's seeking glory. Church doesn't just because it's the right thing to do. It's altruism, not because they, good for goodness sake, not for the anticipation of getting something back in return, or hey, look what Trailside did. Hey, look what, we're going out here to the park and building these things because we want our name to get recognized. It's going out there because they want to actually legitimately make a dent in the community and actually make change happen. And they don't care about the ego that comes with it. So that was pretty much my my first Sunday, and it was just took me completely by surprise.
I was working chaotic schedules, and I worked most Sunday mornings. So I came when I could, but really my first experience with it was through small group, because I was off on Thursday evenings and I could make that. And after I was very nervous, and I'm an observer, like I just kind of sit and watch people. So first 2 Thursdays, I just kind of sat and watched.
She was a fly on the wall. For
yeah,
sure,
I was a fly on the wall. And I started to warm up to it, and then I started, actually going to church on Sundays when I could. It honestly caught me by surprise, because everybody has this preconceived notion or idea in their head of what Christianity is or what Christians do or all of this. But that's not what I experienced. And what I experienced was people getting together, sharing food, and having a drink, and just talking and discussing things and asking questions. And the biggest thing for me was realizing that I'm not the only one that has questions about the Bible or about religion, or things that we should do or shouldn't do. And because you always have this kind of notion of, like, people especially who grew up in religion, that they know what it says and know what they're supposed to do and all of that, and that's not the case. It was just open and comfortable. Nobody felt pressured. So it made me feel very good. One of the first things I did after small group, I don't even think I'd even been to a Sunday service yet, was I went and participated in Second Saturday, and we went in December.
Yep.
And what's the name of that place?
It's the old folks home that's out in TR.
Harmony Ridge.
Harmony Ridge, yeah.
We went to Harmony Ridge and served Christmas dinner and all that, and it was just...
Well, brunch.
Or brunch, yeah. Well, most people eat Christmas dinner at noon anyway.
We are in the South.
So, but it was very good, and I was nervous going into that too, but then I kind of warmed up, and just seeing a church that actually does go out there and do these things instead of just making it look like they do it, actually doing it, not doing it to have their name out there, but doing it because it's the right thing to do.
It's weird for me because I've always wanted to serve. And, I was like, God's given me the gifts of music. He's given me all these other different talents, or the intellect to do stuff, make it through, all these different challenges that this life's thrown my way. And for me, like, mentioning earlier, I love music, and that's kind of, one of my favorite hobbies. Where I'm serving right now is doing sound production. And so it's been inadvertent that I'm doing recording and audio production and everything else just in my own free time, because it's something that I've loved, just so happened to coincide with one of the needs that Trailside had in the production area. And so it's kind of like, the Bible always says a place is prepared for you, in heaven. And I think it's kind of cool to feel like God just prepared a place for me here too. I just didn't know that I didn't know where it was yet. I knew that it was out there somewhere. And so finding it now, it's been very fulfilling. I'm able to help set up. I help tear down. I help do the production, audio production and stuff during the shows. But I get to do so much more than that. I've also had the opportunity, just being present and willing and ready to hear a call if one's there, to pray over some people too. And I can't begin to express to you with words how much that meant to me personally. So being able to actually have an opportunity to give back to a place that's already done so much for me just in my personal life. In a relatively short period of time, and comparison to the 30 years I've been alive, it's a blessing in and of itself. For me, planting a tree now, knowing that 50, 60 years from now I may not be able to enjoy the shade, but I know in the process of just seeing it grow and just knowing what it's done for us and being able to, there's gonna be a little bit of a point of pride. Sorry, I just had something in my eye. Point of pride of being like, I was there in the beginning, but at the same time, I don't know, it's just, I know how good it makes me feel. I know the difference that it's made in my life. And knowing that I can turn around and give back into something and know that I can make somebody else out there, some other family that's been broken, that's gone through the type of things that my family's gone through, the suffering, murder, the whole nine, knowing that brokenness can be healed and being able to give into something and give into a mission and knowing that, hey, you can too. That's cool. Having a sense of community for our little girl, whom we've decided to name Leona, having a sense of community for her, having a sense of support for us and everything, that's going to be amazing.
I think that's big thing is support.
Yeah. Even just moral.
That's one thing every new parent needs is support, and just that feeling that they're not alone. And there's a lot of young families in Trailside, and families that have young children, and advice and support and just being able to kind of get away for a minute if that's what you need, or play dates, and just growing more within the community of our church. And it's just a good place to be. And I didn't grow up in church, so this is going to be a totally new experience for me.
Just having a single place that I know means what it says and will be there, for her as she grows too, and knowing that there's going to be people in there that she has questions about stuff, not just for us, but if she has questions about something in faith, that there's going to be people there that aren't going to judge her, as she or judge us for the questions that she has, because Lord knows we've had plenty ourselves, but just knowing that she's going to be in a place that's accepting, that's loving, that teaches gospel and isn't just about trying to go with the mainstream, actually trying to teach gospel. I think that's clutch. That's gonna make all the difference for her. Just knowing that we have more people here, that Leona's gonna be able to grow up around, that she's gonna have friends that care and that will want, and other parents that likewise want to see her grow into a strong, smart person as well. Means a lot. Means more than I can say. And getting back to serving with Trailside again, now I'm even doubly invested, because what I invest in that church now is not just going to benefit, others. It's going to benefit my little girl too. And so that makes it even doubly, triply more for me, As somebody that went through finding my mother murdered, that went through years of insomnia, post-traumatic stress, nightmares, investigations, all of that, and blaming myself for not being here to help, for so many other things, and suffering in silence for years, losing my faith and being in the belly of the whale as it is. If I can be broken and find that light again so can you. It's okay to be broke. And it's also okay to know that you don't want to be broke anymore. And that there are people out there that care. There are people out there that do want better for you and that will pray for you. And not just because they want something from you in return. So just have that faith, have that hope, and just come, man. Let the acts stand for themselves. Just come.
I think for me is that no matter who you are, how you're raised, where you're from, doesn't matter. Trailside's gonna love you.
Yep.
Because that's what we do, is just love people. I came with, like I said, no religious background at all.
Yep.
And very ignorant with a lot of preconceived notions and mindset of what religion was. And yeah, I've tried kind of throughout the years going, sitting in on service in random places and stuff like that, and I was just like, this isn't for me. This is just not who I am. But Trailside has proved me wrong on that. And it's been a really good experience, and just come in with an open mind and give it a shot. We're gonna love you.